Honda didn't exactly advertise this part of the story, but if you have been looking at a used Civic, you are basically walking through a minefield of model years. Some are practically indestructible machines that refuse to die, and others? Let's just say they have left owners stranded, frustrated, and out of thousands in repairs they never saw coming. So in this breakdown, we are exposing the 5 worst Honda Civic years you should probably walk away from, and the 5 best years that mechanics would actually put their own money on. Stick around, because number 1 on the worst list might completely change how you look at a good deal forever. 2007 to 2009 Honda Civic. At first glance, these model years look like redemption. The design is cleaner, the cabin feels more refined, and Honda's reputation seems to be back in control after the chaos of 2006. For a moment, it even convinces buyers they are stepping into safety again. Like the storm has passed, and the road ahead is finally clear. But underneath that reassurance is a defect that never fully left the 8th generation. Certain R18-equipped engines still carry the same deep casting weakness that began in the earlier models. The crack doesn't announce itself loudly. It starts small, invisible, almost patient. A slow internal failure forming inside the engine block while the car continues to drive like nothing is wrong. Then the real damage begins quietly. Coolant disappears without leaving puddles. The temperature gauge creeps upward during normal driving. Oil and coolant begin to mix inside the engine, stripping away lubrication like sand grinding into machinery. By the time anything feels serious, the internal damage is already well underway. Owners often describe the moment of realization as sudden betrayal. One day the car feels normal, and the next it's overheating on a short commute or sending warning lights across the dash like alarms in a collapsing system. Repair shops frequently deliver the same verdict. Internal engine failure. Repair costs pushing past $2,800. Sometimes more depending on how far the damage has spread. What makes these years especially dangerous is timing. Many failures show up just outside warranty coverage, turning what looked like a reliable used purchase into a financial trap that reveals itself only after the keys are already in your hand. Meanwhile, the 2007 to 2009 Civic is a correction. In reality, it's a continuation of a problem Honda never fully escaped during that generation. A car that looks stable on the surface but underneath still carries the kind of hidden risk that turns everyday driving into a slow countdown you don't notice until the damage is already done. 2006 Honda Civic. This particular one isn't just a bad Civic year. It's the one that turned a trusted badge into a warning label. The 2006 Honda Civic. This was Honda stepping into a new generation with bold styling, sharper lines, and a modernized interior that looked like the future had finally arrived. But underneath that polished surface was a hidden failure quietly waiting for time and mileage to do its work. The culprit was the R18A 1.8-liter engine, and for many North American builds, it carried a weakness buried deep in the engine block itself. As miles stack up, microscopic cracks begin forming inside the casting. At first, nothing feels wrong. The car still starts, still drives, still gives that familiar Honda confidence. But behind the scenes, coolant slowly begins leaking into the oil system. What follows is a chain reaction you don't forget. Oil loses its protective power, metal starts grinding against metal, and internal components begin tearing themselves apart from the inside. Drivers often describe the early warning as an odd ticking sound, a faint hesitation, maybe a temperature gauge that doesn't sit quite right. Then it escalates fast. White smoke pours from the exhaust like a signal flare, the engine temperature spikes, and in some cases, everything shuts down mid-drive as if the car simply gave up. Most failures land around the 95,000 to 150,000 mile range, right when owners think they have finally made it into reliable territory. Instead, they are staring at a blown engine and repair bills that can easily climb into the thousands. Money that could have gone toward an entirely different car. Honda did step in with extended warranty coverage, but that window has long closed, leaving today's buyers fully exposed to the risk. And when you stack that engine failure on top of weaker mounts, suspension wear, electrical glitches, and failing AC systems, the 2006 Civic stops being a budget-friendly choice and starts feeling like a ticking countdown you can't see, but will definitely pay for when it ends. 2001 to 2002 Honda Civic. This is the generation that quietly cracked Honda's reputation for bulletproof reliability, not through engine drama or cosmetic issues, but through something far more brutal hiding beneath the floorboard. The 4-speed automatic transmission became the weak point that turned ordinary commutes into ticking countdowns. At first, everything feels normal. The shifts are smooth, the car drives exactly how a Civic should, and nothing suggests danger ahead. But inside the transmission, heat begins to build where it shouldn't. Fluid breaks down faster than expected, internal components start wearing unevenly, and microscopic damage accumulates with every mile driven. Just a system slowly preparing to fail. Then it happens the way owners almost never expect. One drive feels fine, and the next, the car hesitates like it's thinking too hard about moving forward. Gears start slipping under light acceleration. Then comes the harsh, sudden shifting jolt that feels like the car is being kicked from underneath. And finally, the moment that ends it. Complete loss of forward motion. Most failures land between 90,000 and 110,000 miles, right when these cars should still be in their prime. Instead of a dependable daily driver, owners are left facing repair bills that often climb past $2,300 to $3,000. Numbers that can easily exceed what the entire car is worth sitting in the driveway. What makes this even more unforgiving is how selective the failure is. The engine stays strong, the chassis holds up, but the automatic transmission turns the whole vehicle into a financial dead end. And yet, there is a strange split in this generation. Manual versions of the same Civic remain largely solid, almost like they belong to a different story entirely. But for the automatic models, the rule is simple and absolute. Once that transmission starts to go, there is no recovery arc. Only the slow realization that a car you trusted has just become a disposal decision on wheels. It was only a matter of time before Honda created a hard reset of everything that went wrong in every generation. 1992 to 1995, Honda Civic. This is where Honda stopped chasing trends and built something closer to mechanical survival. The 5th generation Civic was built with restraint, simple systems, lightweight structure, and engines like the D16Z6 that refuse to operate anywhere near their breaking point. Turn the key and you get certainty. A clean mechanical rhythm that feels almost indifferent to age. No hidden electronics waiting to fail. No fragile layers of software deciding whether the car should cooperate today. Just fuel, air, spark, and repetition. The kind of simplicity that endures. On the road, these Civics feel like they were engineered to ignore damage. Potholes don't shake their confidence. High mileage doesn't weaken their identity. They just keep moving, long after most modern cars would have been retired, repaired, or abandoned in frustration. It's not uncommon to see them push beyond 250,000 miles, still starting in the morning like nothing has changed. The VX trim pushed that philosophy even further, turning efficiency into survival. Nearly 50 miles per gallon on the highway, achieved not through complicated systems, but through lean, deliberate engineering that prioritized longevity over everything else. Less strain meant less failure. Less complexity meant fewer ways to die. And somehow, decades later, many of these cars are still here. Still running and still proving that durability is about removing everything that can break. There is a reason this generation feels different from everything that came after it. It doesn't behave like a used car. It behaves like something that refuses to expire, a machine built in an era when longevity was the default outcome. If modern Civics are stories of refinement, the 1992 to 1995 Civic is something else entirely. 2019 to 2020 Honda Civic. In a generation where complexity started creeping into every corner of the automotive world, this version quietly went in the opposite direction. No turbo pressure building anxiety under the hood. No overworked components trying to keep up with modern demands. Just the K20C2 2.0-liter, naturally aspirated engine doing exactly what it was designed to do. Turn the key, and there is no sense of risk. It delivers 158 horsepower, but the real story is the absence of problems. On the road, it feels like a car that already survived its worst day before you even bought it. The chassis is tighter, lighter, more controlled, like Honda finally recentered the Civic around endurance instead of experimentation. Even the CVT was refined enough here to step back from disaster territory and into trust it and forget it reliability. And it shows in real-world outcomes. High reliability scores, including a 4.7 out of 5 from Kelley Blue Book, don't come from marketing. They come from owners who kept driving while others were visiting repair shops. Even performance variants from this era, like the Type R, carry that same underlying discipline. Different behavior, same foundation. An engine family that understands its job and doesn't overreach. In a lineup full of hidden risks and expensive surprises, the 2019 to 2020 Civic 2.0 liter survives. Like a machine built for people who don't want automotive drama, just distance, time, and the rare comfort of not thinking about what might break next. 2011 Honda Civic. After a turbulent stretch of questionable engineering decisions in the previous decade, this model feels like Honda quietly correcting the timeline. No dramatic redesign meant to impress on a showroom floor. No overcomplicated systems waiting to fail years later. Just a return to fundamentals, anchored by the 1.8-liter R18Z naturally aspirated engine. It starts like a machine that has nothing to prove, the kind of engine that doesn't argue with age. It simply accumulates miles, one uneventful trip after another, while other cars begin to fall apart around it. Inside the engine bay, nothing feels experimental or fragile. There is a sense of restraint in its design, like every component was chosen for one purpose only, to keep working. And it does. With routine maintenance, this engine routinely pushes past 200,000 miles, not as an exception but as an expectation. On the road, the 2011 Civic doesn't try to impress you. It doesn't surge or flex or demand attention. It just moves without asking for unexpected visits to a mechanic or sudden financial damage. While other vehicles trigger warning lights like ticking clocks, this one stays quiet. Even the ownership data reflects that calm stability. Fewer complaints, minimal recalls, and a reputation that doesn't rely on hype. Only repetition. The same outcome, over and over again. It works. And that's where its real strength lives. The 2011 Civic doesn't feel like a gamble that paid off. It feels like a design that refused to fail in the first place. Built for people who want their car to disappear into the background of life and simply keep going. Long after everything else has started asking for attention, it can't afford to give.